All right, guys. Here we are. I'm going to do an uncut video. I'm going to try to get 10 minutes before my camera dies and just talk about what we got going on in this car, why we purchased this car. So this is, like I said in the last video, this is Wes's car. A lot of you guys were asking what's going on with Monique, his blue one. And pretty much what had happened was he got Monique stripped down, took the motor trans out of it, sold it. So he just had himself a roller that didn't have a rear end, had no suspension components or anything on it. And he was going to start building the car. It was more of a long-term process. And it was going to take him probably, I'd say a good year on just getting everything squared away with the chassis. He already had his motor built. We got him a nice Texas Speed 408 that we put together with a 4-stroke crank, Texas Speed rod, and a Wiseco piston. It's like 11-to-1 compression, turbo motor, set up for E85. He's done some stock heads. It's a very basic upgrade, very similar to what's in the Cow. The only difference is his is 6-liter iron block. Mine's a 6.2 aluminum block. So his is a 408, mine's a 416. Compression-wise, pushrod-wise, I mean, it's almost identical. I mean, it's stock rock arms with a trunnion upgrade. He's cathedral port, I'm square port. That's really the only difference. But it's a very nice motor, a solid 1,000 horsepower to 1,200 horsepower motor. So the only thing he needed really was a chassis. So we're in the process of getting stuff squared away. Had a Strange rear end lined up. He was going to run the S60 in that car, and great rear end. I run it in the Salted Chicken. It's absolutely badass. You can get it from Strange complete with Strange brakes on it, axle, spool, gear, everything all set up. You guys slap it in the car and go. And we're going to get one for the G-body because Strange makes one that's a direct bolt-in for the G-body. And he was looking at it, and then he's like, well, I want to do a frame notch. I want to run inboard coilovers. I got to put a cage in it. I got to box the frame in. I got to do all this stuff. And we were good with that. Wes was plugging away most of the work he did by himself. Ben helped him pull the motor. But as far as gutting the car interior-wise and taking everything out that didn't need to be in there, he was doing that all by himself. So shout out to Wes. Wes was putting in work, making progress. Then this car came up on Turbo Bullet for an absolute smoking deal. This thing came up for like $4,500, $5,000, and it's a roller. When Wes contacted the guy, it still had a motor in there. It was set up for a twin turbo LS, which is perfect. As you can see here, it's literally got the headlights knocked out of it, and it's got these I guess just like 3-inch aluminum pieces that were fabricated to go in the headlight hole and then come out and provide airflow to the turbos. So this car was already set up. It's got a mid plate for an LS and a Power Glide, and then you run the motor mounts with it. So Wes already has the motor mounts. He has a Power Glide. He has a converter, so he'll be able to drop his powertrain right in here and be good to go. So pretty much what happened was this deal came up, and for the parts that were on it is literally like a third or greater savings than what he would have done is if he had to build it all by himself. Like, for example, awesome, badass TRZ upper control arms, upper and lower. So these are the same control arms that we run on the Black Sheep because the Black Sheep from here to the firewall is, stock frame rail, so it has all this stuff here. These are probably the best you could buy on the market, this TRZ upper and lower control arms for this car. It's got a Viking coilover on it, and I think right now it's got an S10 gearbox. So this right here, I mean, you're looking at like $1,000 right here. So if you get the car for $4,500, it's got $1,000 in front end, upper and lower control arms. You're like, dude, that's a no-brainer. If we move in here a little bit further, like you guys saw in the last video, it's got a roll cage in it that is already, I'm trying not to hit it off the car. Okay. The roll cage is already certified. It is a solid, 8, 10-point cage. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8-point cage. We'll call it an 8-point. It's like a 6-point would just be like the door bars and the main hoop and the down bars. So 7, 8. Yeah, it's 8-point. It's got a, does it have a dash bar? No dash bar, it looks like. Okay. I mean, that's fine, really. We're good there. But it's got a bunch of nice stuff. It's got these seat braces on there. It's got a Motion Raceworks steering column. It's got a Motion Raceworks wheel. It's got Motion Raceworks buttons in there. It's got a shifter mount already built. It's got a back seat delete done to it. And the real goodies come if you look under the rear end here. So right there, cage, we'll chalk up a cage for $2,000 to $2,500, $1,000 for upper control arms. You almost have the cost of the car. Now, how do you beat that? It's got Viking coilovers front and rear. And then underneath here, I can get my light. underneath here, look at that. So it's got a 12 volt rear end, very similar to what was in Brown Sugar. It's got adjustable upper control arms and adjustable lower control arms. It's got an anti-roll bar already on the car. It's got those Viking inboard coilovers, which is very nice. It's got a frame notch done to it, 15 by 10s in the rear with a 28 10.5 Hoosier slick on there. It's got a parachute mount. Yes, it's got a parachute mount. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff in this car that he got that is just super, super helpful. If you go to Jason Brazzel and want to get an anti-roll bar put on there and get it done and set up right, you're in, what, $1,200 to $1,500, depending on the car and how you want the anti-roll bar set up and the thickness. This already has it done. So easily $5,000 worth of value on this car, so it's a great purchase, and this thing will be able to get rolling a whole lot faster than if Wes was going to build it. As you can see, he's got the lower control arms. He's got the coilovers jacked all the way up, which would explain this horrendous ride height. So there are some things right out the gate that we need to fix, which let me get my fat ass up here. So first thing that I would fix is these front tires are 24 inches tall, 24 and a half. I don't know why you would run these. It's not even like a drag race tire. It's truly just like a passenger car tire. 17-inch rim, but very, very little sidewall. So the first thing we'll do is we'll put a 26-inch rim on it. Sorry, we'll put I wish we need to put 26s on this, to be honest with you. But for this application, we'll leave the 17s on there, put a 26-inch tall tire, and we're going to switch that slick out to a drag radial. We're going to set the car down a little bit and really go over bar angles and make sure everything's set up to have a little bit of separation opposed to squat. This car was, like we said in the last video, was a very well-known grudge street car. And, I mean, he would go to Airport Wars and those Nutty Money events and go out there and run pretty well. So we're going to make the conversion run from slicks to radials. And that should be a pretty quick one. Set the car down, adjust the bar angles. Another thing that this got on here, wow, I didn't even notice. It's got line lock. It's got a nice, who makes that? I don't even know who that is. It's a billet adapter. It sends you over to the manual brakes. So you lose the big master cylinder. So it's already got manual brakes set up. I think it's on stock brakes. Is it on drums in the rear? I didn't even look. Yeah, it's still on drums in the rear. I wonder if this rear end has C-clips in it. We've already gone through that once before. But I mean, hey, we can address that at a later date. But I mean, manual brakes, line lock, it's got the headlights and everything still in it. So I mean, it's going to be a good functioning street car. It came with titles, tags. We just need to get some insurance on it. So, we can drive it around the street. And a couple things, we got to fix this door. This door doesn't... Yeah, it's some fitment issues here and there. The car is actually maroon red. It was wrapped. This, I don't know if you guys call it like destroyer gray or whatnot. I'm not big with my paint color. God, would you just look at the fender gap there? That is seriously 4x4 status. That's wild. I don't know what to think of that. It is on some race stars. I know, knowing Wes, he's probably got something lined up to get some different wheels on there. But the biggest thing is, I mean, the car is very close to running. Wes has a Holley Terminator set up for it. So throw the Terminator in there, throw the engine, throw the transmission, throw the converter in there. Your drive line's good to go. Get some Flowtech forward-facing headers, put an elbow on there, and there's your twin turbo kit. It's already done. He's going to run it intercooled, so just get a big air-to-air intercooler, slap it on there, send it back into the intake. Your turbo kit's done. Fuel system, he's got some Bosch 210 injectors from Carter Motorsports, the flow match ones, which we ran in the Boosted Rooster, which Brown Sugar had. That black Camaro at the shop has them. They're a pretty good injector. So slap those in there. Get you about 17 Most Plus fuel pumps and slap them on the car, and I think you're really good to go. It's already cut out here for the exhaust. I think that looks pretty good. So keep the turbos right up here, right by the inlet of that. Just put a little elbow on that. Exhaust, wastegate somewhere close to it. I mean, it's pretty slick, I'm not going to lie. I think 10 out of 10, great purchase. This will get Wes on the road and racing. This will add another car to our fleet, and then it'll be one less project. So this project was not bought as a large project. It was bought as just a, put a motor, transmission, ECU, and fuel system in there and ride. We're not going to tear apart the suspension. We're not going to tear apart the rear end. We're not going to start cutting the car up. We're just going to throw parts in there and get it rolling. So a lot of you guys were commenting and asking why we got this. This is Wes's purchase. I just happened to come up here for the holidays, and the car was up here, so I decided to bring it back home. So this is why we're introducing it to you. I've been calling it Eeyore just because I think it's funny, and Wes hates the name, and it's gray. So I thought that was a great name, but it's up for discussion for names. The fuzz is on it right now. I kind of like that, but Wes isn't a cop, so we can't use that. I was going to do the drawing today. The entries are closed, so I'm not taking any more entries. The web store is still open, but if you purchase anything, you will not be entered in the turbo giveaway. The drawing ended last night at midnight. So I was going to do the drawing today. I was supposed to stay here till tomorrow, but we got a bad snowstorm coming, so I'm hustling. I got to get the car loaded up, load up the truck and trailer, and head down to North Carolina before we get snowed in. So tomorrow will be the drawing for the giveaway. So everyone be on notice, mark your calendars. Tomorrow at noon, I'm going to try to get a video out. Drawing will be done tomorrow. I'm going to pick a winner for either the nitrous kit or the turbo system. I still got a bunch of stuff down in the description below, so check that out. And order. These hats are back in stock. I got shirts. I got ball caps. I got hoodies, I got t-shirt. I mean, I got it all. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. So, quick little uncut, raw update video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just giving you some light on why we made this purchase, or why Wes made this purchase. I told him, he was asking me about it, and I said, dude, honestly, I'd buy it. So, then again, I mean, I buy probably too much stuff. So, Wes, I'm sorry if I did that to you, but I think this thing's gonna be awesome. Go out there and pull wheelies and shoot the wheel and axle right out the car because it's got no C-clip eliminators, and be good to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload back in North Carolina with the drawing winners. Everyone, hope you have a great day.